Hello, it's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Yo. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
I knew you were coming to this. I wanted to be Afro, put some Afro, but I guess I've not really, you didn't come with the Afro today. I really wanted you.
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I like it. I actually like it.
How you doing, YK?
I'm fine. I have no gist in my life. Seriously, no gist in my life.
The grandchildren are fine.
Okay, I'm going to host
it.
Make sure you come on Friday. I'm going to host an event at Freedom Park.
Okay.
Ladies' Night.
Okay. Nice. This Friday.
This Friday, yes. So
what's your just for hanging out? Just for
it's Ladies' Night. All women performing.
Oh, okay.
So I think in Davis, I can't remember. I have to look at this. I will send you all the
details. Okay, nice.
So let's just have something to do different because it's just been a pretty walk schedule for me.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
They're looking for you to buy your car.
I'm just working. But I'm really grateful to God. Yesterday I didn't eat. I didn't know that hunger can make you so cranky. I was just snapping at everything, and I realized that it must be because you haven't. Yeah, 1 year. I was hungry, and then I was ordering the cabs, and it seems all the drivers were missing their way. So I was in the children's school for 1 hour. Even the kids were like, "Mommy, we spent 1 hour waiting for the car to arrive." I said, "I don't know. I keep cancelling and cancelling." At the point, I just said, whenever the car arrives, I'll just wait. And then I was hungry, and I checked my car. My bag. I didn't have cash to even buy snacks. I was like, "Okay, today is the day," But I got home, and the size of semo I devoured. It was not something that I should eat, but I was like, "This is food. Eat." I'm grateful to God. I'm happy. Everything is working out for good, and people have been so supportive. Even in school yesterday, I had to wear my nose mask back because, like, all the parents were just coming, greeting. Thank you. I saw your husband, so you're not. If you were the one in school, you'd have been tired. I wanted to call Murayo. Can you give me Murayo's number? I was so worried. I was so praying, so it's still within the air.
We're excited about it. Do you like our new set?
Yeah, I do.
It's a bit different, but it's
nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was going to say, you have learned to do Christmas. It's like a Christmas set. I don't know, it's the same set, but it's popping more than
the blue is more than the blue on the last set. The blue squares.
It's popping.
It's popping. So blue is one of my favorite colors. So I'm hoping that I don't blend in when I wear blue.
No, you'll be okay. You'll be all right.
And I think it's short while. We should be getting
our physical set is getting ready soon by God's grace. We'll see what we can do.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I hope they will give me the chair that my leg will touch the ground.
Because of you, they specially made the chair for you. In fact, it's over touching the ground. You now, you'll be like this. Your leg will be up. Because of YK, it's perfectly structured for YK. So,
Amen. Because, man, the chairs on the last set, I used to complain. I don't hang my leg like a bat.
Shout out to BC for my hair. People are complimenting, even on online. Yeah, so Viagilu hooked me up. YK is Afro, as in
she's making money. That girl is on a different level.
Thank the Lord.
She's just getting in consignments.
I'm even happy that you spoke about your hair, because your hair on Friday when I was here, I loved it. Oh my
YK likes natural hair.
But this is like Afro-like now. So
YK has not made me. I've not been encouraged to wear my weave on. I'm going to start wearing it from next week. Don't worry. But this week,
everybody loved your natural.
It was nice. It was, and you look so young and so pretty. And you now wear that one. You look like old mama. We're doing Oyinbo style.
YK, please don't do this. It's Tuesday.
YK, I'm wearing my weave next week. Let's go on.
It's not weave. It's wig.
Okay, my wig. I'll wear it next week. Proudly so. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
They are listening.
Right. We're going to start with The Nation. Ignore protesting youths at your peril. Senate warns. Buhari urges peace. UN protests fall out of virus pandemic. Government to sell forfeited assets within 6 months. COVID-19 vaccine with 90% accuracy set for use. Visitation panel for varsities, 10-year report expected. Yakubu steps aside for Muazu at INEC. And strange illness kills 11 in Ibadan. Okay, which are we taking the nation? I'm happy about the
illness. Can we talk about the illness first?
in Ibadan.
They said there just about 11 people have died.
Yeah.
And in another village, another set of people have it. 5 people are in hospital, have been hospitalized, and they don't know. They're thinking it's cholera, but they're not sure. The health commissioner said they can't say it's, until they carry out tests, they can't say it's.
But the NCDC, the NCDC actually said that they are suspecting it's yellow fever, but it's not yet concluded. So I don't know why we're still saying it's strange, but either way, it's either cholera or
why
yellow
I
fever.
brought it up, why I wanted to talk about it was because, you know, last week in the papers,
took another one in
there were
in Delta State,
and Delta State.
Yeah.
So I hope and pray
it's not
Kulu.
Yeah, and also it's 11 people cannot die for you before you do it. Have a proper diagnosis. Once you already have 1 or 2, we should already start having diagnosis immediately.
I was going to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah,
Pfizer.
Good news.
Pfizer is saying that they're likely to have about 50 million doses for the end of the year, and they have 90%.
From the third trial phase.
Actually, that's really our hot topic.
Sorry?
So will you take the vaccine?
Well, I think about a few countries: Germany, Brazil, US, South Africa, Turkey. These are people that have already begun to order, and they're hoping that by 2021 they will have about I think 1.3 billion. I just hope Nigeria is in that mix. Please, they should give us this vaccine by next year,
so that we can remove masks.
Yes, now we can go back to our normal party. I mean, when I go to parties now, it's very, very hey for this dancing. Please do. I don't want to.
Is it only the dancing? Don't come and hug me. Don't come and hey.
Is there another story? Yakubu, that's INEC chair, is going to be stepping to the side because his tenure ended November 9th, and until he's confirmed by the Senate, he has decided to step aside and he has handed over to Muazu. So hopefully once he gets confirmed, he can come right back. Moving on now to Vanguard. Hashtag NSAS, NBA CSO Sans Flay. Federal government's move to try protesters. Northeast elders ask Buhari to sack service chiefs. We aren't aware of CBN freezing hashtag NSAS leaders' accounts, says Senate. Buhari orders sale of forfeited assets within 6 months. WAEC changes timetable as exams start November 30th. Doctors, legal officers begin indefinite strike in Ondo. IPOB inciting another civil war, says Southeast governors. And Niger governor tests positive for COVID-19, goes into self-isolation.
Plenty stories. I think we should take our time to take those stories. So one, what's happening in the IPOB inciting violence. So the Ebonyi State governor, who is the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, went to visit their Governor Wike, and when they got to Rivers State, it was based on the fact that they were hearing on social media that Igbos have been attacked in Obigbo community in Rivers State, and they went on a peace mission to find out the facts on ground. And based on their own investigation, they feel that it's false, but they wanted to have the facts clear. And Rivers State governor mentioned to them that there was nothing of such taking place. They have a good relationship. Also, the spokesperson, the heads of Indigbo in Rivers and Bayelsa also correlated that story. Many people in the diaspora are saying that they are happy with the peace meeting within Southeast, because the statements and things being read online will be inciting violence. They are all speaking with one voice that they do not want any more physical. The Igbos will not fight any civil war in Nigeria anymore. No physical fight. Then there's an association of people that are fighting, canvassing for an Igbo presidency in 2023, and that those ones are focusing that let's all speak one language, peace. And
they're saying that the IPOs are actually inciting civil war.
Yes.
Okay, hashtag NSAS is all over the papers. Our Senate is talking. They're saying that we may not escape another hashtag NSAS protest if it's allowed. And I think Senate Lawan was saying very clearly that they need to provide opportunities and opportunities for the youth, especially in the next coming budget. And it's important that we create jobs, because that's the cry of the young people in Nigeria, and they must begin to address it from the state of the budget.
But in those states, those that have work are not being paid. So the residential doctors of Nigeria in Ondo State have gone on strike because they've been owed 4 months of salary, which hasn't been paid to them. And also in that same state, the legal Law Officers Association of Nigeria are also complaining of lack of payments. They said they don't have tools. Is enough of lawyers taking bike to court offices out of the 17 vehicles that the court has. All of them were repaired. Only 2 was brought back. That they need amenities. The governor, I didn't hear what the governor's statement wasn't. They said the government said that the strike is quite embarrassing, but I feel that the doctors have said that they gave warning strike last week. We need our doctors. This is not the time to not to pay doctors' salaries. For whatever reason, please pay the doctors their
salaries. The related
salaries.
stories to end hashtag EndSARS, Rachel Oduala was one of the leaders, and she was saying that her accounts have been frozen.
Yes.
Although the other lady said that she's been giving back her passport, the young lady that was going to, that was trying to travel to Maldives. But this lady, Rachel Oduala, is saying that her account has been frozen, and obviously raising the alarm that it seems like they are clamping down on all the leaders of the
I think they said about 20 of them.
Yes.
Their accounts have been frozen, and
they're saying it's because of national security.
Yes.
That's
yeah, but when I think of this, you haven't clamped down on the Boko Haram. You know, they've arrested like 6 people in UAE, and you are talking about the EndSARS.
Yeah.
Boko Haram has been there for how many years?
Even NBA is saying that, listen, they have a right to protest, because when you want to investigate the protesters, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
The hoodlums infiltrated the protest. The protest, we've all declared that it was very, very peaceful and well organized. But what government is saying is that the protest let it degenerate, and according to, I'm not sure who was speaking there. According to him, he's saying that because they refused to stop at the time they were supposed to stop, and they let it degenerate into what it came to, and it cost the country quite a lot. They are now saying that they can be prosecuted. But NBC is saying, that doesn't make any sense, because they have every right. They were working within the right as a citizen.
And the sincerity of the people to trust the government.
I keep on saying this thing, because I don't use the word hoodlums for the
I say
people.
comrades.
You know, because what happened that they infiltrated. You see, you know, when you have a rat, if you have a big rat and you corner that big rat, the corner of the room to kill it, do you know what it does? It goes straight for your neck. This is what the Senate have said it. If you don't take time to address the situation, this is what will happen. And it will affect everybody. You see, the people that, what is even paining me, the people that is supposed to affect, it will not affect them. It is people like me that it will not come and affect. Because me, I can't go anywhere. This is my country. I can't run anywhere.
Moving on.
They will enter private jet. They will go.
Let's move on to Daily Sun. Is there any other story we missed in the placard? Daily Sun. Fresh civil protest looms. Senate President warns. Hashtag EndSARS targeted at destabilizing Nigeria. Northern Coalition tells UN, UK, US. I'd like to talk about that. Fuel scarcity knocks as oil workers begin strike. That's important. Southeast leaders urge Igbo in Oyibo to respect Rivers government people. Buhari orders sale of forfeited assets within 6 months. And ex-IGP Arase bombshell on police posting. Okay, which story are we taking?
The president has said that the Nigerian youth should be peaceful. He said it is in your interest to keep the peace. He said that our own generation is on its last lap. We are exiting. And he said the president was speaking to the Deputy General, Secretary General of the UN, represented by Aminat Mohammed, who was a former Minister for Environment in Nigeria. She said that the protest is legal. That's from our own perspective. This protest is legal, but we should keep it peaceful. The protest is legitimate. The president is also saying that their own generation is on the last lap, and that the protesters should keep things peaceful. And
he said that we will only have ourselves, the youth will only have themselves to blame. In other words, if they don't keep it, if they don't keep the peace, if they don't maintain peace.
Well, we already know it's their last lap. They didn't need to tell us that.
Because
we already annoyed.
I'm wondering about this lap, because this lap is getting too long.
No. We have to
it's a 30-year lap.
No. 2023 is the last lap now.
Okay, is that what they mean?
No, their generation. It didn't talk about the generation of
people in their 70s and 80s
who are still
in power.
Even commenting, the Obasanjo still commenting.
Are we taking the IGP story?
Yes, please, let's take it. We'll talk about our hot topic, but let's just mention it.
Okay, so the former Inspector General of Police, Arase spoke, and it was like an expose. He said he dropped a bombshell that 50%, this was at a virtual dialogue series, The Challenge of Nigerian Police Reform, Civil Unrest and National Democracy. It was organized by the former governor, Benga Daniels, held on Sunday. And the former IGP of police said that the biggest issue is that out of the 400,000 police officers we have, about 50% of them are assigned to protect the political class and elites.
All right, on that note, we're going to dig deeper and hear Nigerians' thoughts on that. They're telling us that our police, 50% of them, are not guarding us. They're guarding the rich, the elites. What are your thoughts on that? We're going to focus on it on a hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, so a story caught our attention in the papers, the fact that former IGP Arase was saying that 50% of our police are actually assigned to elites, and that they've been going through quite a number of reforms, and none of it has been implemented. So the issue is not police reform, it's the political will, according to him. So how do we begin to encourage that political will and focus, especially because that is what led to what we had as the hashtag #EndSARS protest? Because welfare was an issue for the police. The fact that they were not properly armed, they didn't have enough, ammunition for the work that they had to do, and also the fact that many of them felt even after service they didn't have a proper pension plan to protect their families even after if anything happens. So that complaint we've seen during the hashtag #EndSARS protest. So when the ex-IGP is saying this, what comes to mind? Topo, let me start with you.
We know.
Right.
I'll say that this is something we know, but we didn't know the gravity of the extent of it. So having him say that about 50% of our elites are of our police officers are securing elites shows why we don't have enough police response to when we have situations of crime within the country. That's on one end. It is worrisome that we have a political class that feel that they are more entitled to protection than the average Nigerian. And it's not even just political class. Once you can afford it, the way the structure works, once you are a VIP, you can get a convoy, you can get like 3 details to you. I met someone at a party about three years ago in Anambra. The man is an ex-militant. He has 2 military people with him. And he said that one of them has been with him for 10 years and that he has built a house for that man. And I was listening to him bragging about how he said he's built a house for this one. He sends all of them to school. They are happy to be there. Before he came in, they shot into the air. When he was leaving, they shot into the air. Like, he was an ex-militant. And he has two people detailed to protect him. Yet the average Nigerian would have crime committed to them, and they'll be struggling to get police officers to them. The issues with the police need total reforms, and it comes from the political will of our political office holders to expose themselves to the vulnerability. Because as long as you cannot feel what the average Nigerian is going through, you can't help you can't help them out in any way. So this is not something new. Sadly, it is not something they are ready to change. And as we're talking about the EndSARS protest over and over again, there hasn't been any statement from the government towards giving a bit for them.
But I think also, for a VIP to need protection, it shows that wide gap between the rich and the poor. Because why does a rich person need protection in this part of the world? Other parts of the world, you see rich people entering subways, entering public transportation, traveling, and because the gap isn't so wide. The person next door, you have the basics. The bottom of the pyramid, you have that shelter, the family, you have the basics. But in this place, people don't have the basics. And that's so obvious, that's why they need. But can we, instead of, why would we begin to see how we can close that gap? Instead of, because it's being widened by government right now in every way because of the poor economic reforms, poor infrastructure development. So the gap between the rich and the poor is getting wider, and that is why these rich people always need security. Now, hashtag #EndSARS has even brought it closer to make us understand that it's no more about that protection, because these boys are no more, they don't want to see the protection. They want to come, they will come and attack many of the elites in Nigeria if they want to.
You know why I wanted to take this story, why I thought it was important. apart from the 200,000 policemen, that are guarding the elite, and the remaining 200,000 are guarding 200 million Nigerians. I looked at it. I read that the police colleges, if you go there, they are horrible. You will not want to send your enemy there, not to talk of your family. Now, this is where these people are being trained. NSAS came up because these policemen, whether you like it or not, are not being well paid. These people that you want to protect you are not paying them well. So they are going to look for other means to get that money. Their retirement, remember we took one story, their retirement benefit is very shameful. Even an IG, what he gets as his retirement, they don't have money. So they try to make as much money as they can before they retire.
And this leads to police brutality.
This leads to police brutality.
Extortion. But you see,
extortion.
But people have said that if you're a doctor, I mean, we've heard the argument throughout this hashtag protest that, okay, because they're not paying you as a doctor, well, are you now going to kill your patients? I mean, you have that allegiance to what you do, don't you think?
Listen, doctors, teachers, police, those three professions are underpaid in Nigeria. They are underpaid. Now, the doctor will not come and kill you, but the doctor will not show empathy. I have dealt with doctors, they don't show empathy. Say this, my thumb. I can still not bend it very well. I went to this hospital, a private hospital, and the doctor looks at me and says, we just operate. The way he even said it. So I looked at this, my own hand. You will cut my hand, and you will go your own way. It's not his business. If the hand heals properly, it's not his business. His own is to make money for the hospital. They did my brother's daughter, her leg. They cut her leg to straighten it. The leg is worse than when it started. No empathy. So that's one hand, doctors. Go to the teachers. Teacher does not even try to expand his or her knowledge. It's just the small one that,
the residual knowledge they use in teaching.
So I think that.
So now, that's doctor
and teachers.
Now police that you give gun. That is even the worst. You don't pay them well. You don't do anything well, and you expect them to protect you. And then the worst part, you not take 200,000 of them to protect yourselves. And when you take the 200,000, you pay those ones well. And everybody is struggling. If I'm a policeman, I will struggle to be there.
Yeah.
So I can get money.
Yeah.
And I will
because
live well.
If you see the police attached to elites, they look clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
these are police officers.
Well.
They dress well.
Like the man that shared the story, he built a house for his security detail. I think that for us to achieve the change we desire, it has to be holistic. It can't just be, yes, as well. And I'm happy that a lot of the protesters, a lot of the NSAS protesters also included in their demands proper remuneration and reforms of the police, because it is important that the police officers we need them. We can protest about how ineffective some of them are or how they are abusing power, but as a society, we need them. And as long as we don't, the leaders are living in that bubble where they have two people protecting them, we will not solve that problem. So it will start by stripping security officials. It will start by prioritizing the lives of average Nigerians. It will start by our leaders practicing what they are preaching, because they keep saying it, they value Nigerian lives, it has to be peaceful. It will be peaceful. The president can say, youth, we're on our last lap, but the people on their last lap, all of the younger ones that should have longer life are having shorter lifespan, and the older ones are having longer lifespan because they have access to travel abroad for healthcare. Our president came into power very, very frail. I see him now and I'm like, Grandpa, you're looking very good. Our president looks good. He looks very, very strong. And I wish that he got access to that healthcare in Nigeria, because it will give me hope.
You just call him Grandpa.
Is he not our grandfather?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
He's old enough to be my grandfather.
Okay.
So for me, it looks really good. And for how well it looks good, it should challenge him to want to provide his grandchildren and citizens of Nigeria that same medical care is getting abroad. But we're not seeing that. So no more lip service.
There's an argument that, listen, Nigeria is not bereft of ideas or laws.
Implementation.
Is the implementation. So if you go to a president or the federal government, they'll say, we have the laws, we have the police pensions committee, we have the police civil service commission, we have these bodies. Their job is to ensure the welfare of the police. So the government say, I have done my part. You have been empowered. You have a budget. Now, have you implemented? Even if the budget is not enough, it's not sufficient.
Because I was going to go there.
Yeah, of course. So we know the budget is not sufficient. But either way, the one that you have, is it being implemented? Are they using it for what's supposed to be used for, or is it being embezzled? You see, these are all. That's what they call the Nigerian factor. Yes, it's easy to blame the government, but there are people. It's not the man at the helm of affairs, Buhari, that will sign the check to say, please, pay this pension to X amount of policemen, pay this welfare for the families. It's not him. There are people to do that. So I think it's about time we begin to investigate and look at it critically beyond this man called the president.
I agree with you up to a certain point,
Okay.
but let me tell you where I disagree with you. As the head, you are responsible for anything that goes wrong in your country. As the head. So you have to make sure
and the person signing the check
is the correct person that you have there.
Right.
Because if you don't make sure, am I going to be looking for Morayo Kiniko is the one signing check? I'm not. I'm going to go straight to
the helm of affairs, yeah.
to look. That's where my problem is. If you come to Shrine now and there's a problem, I have put people there. Any problem, I'm telling you, is me that will carry the headache, not the person I put there.
Right.
So that is me, my own small cocoon.
Okay, point taken.
But I want to just quickly bring something else to the president's attention. You know, there's something that the Senate clamored for. Nigerians have been shouting, oh, the service chiefs are not doing this. If we're having this high level of insecurity, despite all the money that has been dedicated to security apparatus in Nigeria, then the service chief should be reviewed. It would make that would make a whole lot of sense. But what do we have? Senate has said it now. The northern leaders, like the northern coalition, are also saying, please remove service chiefs. What do we see? They're still there. So it's still rise and fall on the leadership. Of course, I believe every Nigerian should take responsibility. We are all part of the system. We're part of the corruption. We're the ones that go to police station, and it is a Nigerian that would report a personal civil case against a police officer and bribe the police officer to arrest somebody that is owing him money, which they have no business doing. But we have created that illegal system of getting our money back from people that owe us money. It's wrong.
But the reason we can create that is because if that man is not well paid, he will be looking for other ways to get money. Can you go and in America, the police collect bribe now. You think that policemen don't collect bribe, but that is not the majority. Now, what happens is those ones are collecting bribe. The ones that are not collecting bribe are looking for them to catch them
in Nigeria,
and arrest them.
Corruption is as a result of a lack. So when there is no lack, that's when you start finding loopholes and how you can now steal money from different sources. Yeah.
Exactly. If I go to the police station and I have money, that policeman, how much is his salary? You just look, this money, I beg. Bring it.
Okay, we have to wrap up on this, but I think
how many of them can afford cars?
So generally, I think what we're echoing today is that what the former IGP is saying is that they need a political will to actually implement all the various facts. They said 4 reforms have been presented, but none of it have been implemented. So obviously, we need that political will. There has to be seriousness on the part of the government to actually fix the police, not just play lip service to it. I think that's what we've gotten from what he has said. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So it's Tuesday. We have to discuss something about health. And today we're discussing the landscape of healthcare in changing every day. It's actually changing every day. What used to be a straightforward process of heading to your local healthcare provider for diagnosis and treatment is rapidly changing. You can receive your diagnosis and care through digital networks. Today on the show, our guests will be discussing the barriers to telehealth adoption in Nigeria and possible solutions. Joining us on the show is a health innovation expert and CEO, CRIB MD Ifeanyi Osai. Welcome to the show, Ifeanyi. Are you there? You can also join the conversation on 090-241-63440. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your VTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so while we're trying to get Ifeanyi on the show. Okay, he's there. Hello, Ifeanyi. Are you there?
I am.
Thanks for joining us on the show. So tell us a bit about this health, telehealth, remote treatment. Can you hear me? Ifeanyi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So tell us a bit about this telehealth method, like remote diagnosis and treatment of illnesses and sicknesses. Tell us about that, please.
PRIMD is basically Uber for doctors. We do doctor house call and telemedicine. Using technology, we make it possible for you to get healthcare from the comfort and safety of your own home on your own schedule. So the idea is to use technology and remove the barrier. So you basically don't have to, travel in Lagos traffic or in Port Harcourt or in Abuja traffic, sitting all day in traffic waiting to go see healthcare. Using our app or our website, you can just push a button and, your doctor will be on your phone. So if you have a phone, you have a doctor. That's essentially what the idea of telemedicine is. If you have a phone or you have a computer, then you have a doctor.
Okay, so this is something not necessarily new. Many people are already sort of doing this with mobile apps where you can talk to a doctor, put in your diagnosis, and then sort of get a bit of referral. But how can we, the real bulk of medical challenge that we have in Nigeria is for the middle class and below. And many of those don't even have access to smartphones or apps. So how are we reaching out to those people? There are villages that don't have hospitals that you can't get to in 30 minutes. How are we going to break the barrier to get towards them?
So in terms of reaching folks that do not have smartphones or computers, so your question is basically, how do we bridge that gap, right? Am I correct?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so how we bridge that gap is basically, so one thing we do at PRIMD is that we offer offline services, which means even if you do not have the app, you are still able to give us a call with your regular phone, which most folks have in Nigeria. You can just call us and we'll send a doctor to your home directly. So you do not necessarily have to do telehealth if you do not have that capability. So, but I think on a broader note, I think that is something the Nigerian government can help with. Making sure that a majority of the citizens, have access to basic phones that that are able to do apps and stuff like that. That the common citizen can be able to access healthcare when they need it. I think these are like in countries like the United States. The welfare office gives phone out to like poor folks or underprivileged folks who cannot afford it. So I think that's something the Nigerian government can honestly do for our citizens and help them access better healthcare.
Okay, in Nigeria, the network is always bad. How can you reconcile the two? Because I will be trying to say, so my head is paining me. You will be saying, pardon, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. How are you going to overcome that? Then Wi-Fi, internet is always, no service today, no service tomorrow. So is this something that can really work in this part of? Pardon?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
It's whether you can hear me. Now that is the issue.
Oh, I can quite hear you clearly.
Okay, Ifeanyi, I think what Waike was trying to ask you is that, have you factored, can you hear us clearly, sir? Ifeanyi, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. I can hear you now.
So what Waike had said, are you want to ask?
Did you hear, you see the problem? You couldn't hear me. This is what I'm talking about. Our network is always bad. How are you going to synchronize that with this telehealth? Because you can never hear, we can never hear on the phone. We always say, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And so on, and Wi-Fi is never working. My internet is not working, I don't know why. So how can you?
I do get that. So I think as Nigerians, that is a conversation we honestly need to have with perhaps our Minister of Information or something, or at the federal level, because it's a shame that in the 21st century that folks haven't had time, connecting on phone, talking to each other, or their Wi-Fi working, why companies like MTN, are making billions of dollars. That doesn't compute, It's something the federal government can step in and, help solve. Most countries in the world have passed this stage. We're talking 5G now in most places. And, we're still having difficulty talking over just a basic phone. So that is something that should be happening in the country.
We have to wrap up with you.
Especially in Lagos.
Great. We have to wrap up with you in a minute. But very quickly, I want to ask you, part of diagnosis is feeling, touching. How can you make an accurate diagnosis on somebody you cannot see? How do you do that remotely?
Come again.
As a part of diagnosis is also feeling, touching, observing. How do you do that remotely when the person is not there with you?
Also, how do we do that remotely when somebody is not there with us? So, we offer tech products, right? So, and using technology like, say, an Apple Watch or like a Samsung Watch, we are able to, take your pulse remotely. We are able to monitor your blood oxygen level. We are able to monitor a lot of things. So it's called remote monitoring. So that is one way we use that. We integrate technology into our platform, to deliver better experience and better healthcare. And so the idea is not that telehealth will fix everything. So it's one way to fix stuff, but sometimes you do need the physical presence of the doctor. And in those cases, CRIBMD can send a doctor to your home. So we do doctor house call and we do telemedicine. So
great.
But we also do have ability to remote monitor. So we are able to see you through sensors, even though we are not physically touching you. So that is what technology is doing. To being able to render that service without necessarily being there.
Thank you very much, Fanyo Osai, for joining us this morning. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts on telehealth, which is an innovation that we're trying to see if Nigeria can adopt and begin to help more people to reach and have access to healthcare. We're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we continue the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So, according to reports, Nigeria may face scarcity of petrol in the coming days as oil workers under the aegis of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, have been ordered to down their tools nationwide. What should we expect from this? We'll be having later on the show the General Secretary, PENGASSAN, Comrade Lumumba Okugbawa, very soon, once he gets on. But in the meantime, it's important we open our phone lines. You can call us on 090-2463-440. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweets. Let us hear your thoughts on this pending strike. According to them, there are a few things that he had said. They are also not totally in agreement with the IPPIS payment structure by the federal government. And they complained about a private company that came to change their entire work, I think their work schedules or their work scheme or something like that. I read it in the papers. But the point I'm trying to make is that, is this the right time for them to actually down their tools? Especially, according to them, they gave the government 7 days ultimatum. And it lapsed yesterday. And yesterday they did call their comrades to down their tools from today henceforth. But the question is that the right way to go?
So let me jump in. PENGASSAN, they're very powerful. They're one of the most powerful bodies. Yeah. Whenever they sneeze or cough, the entire country shivers. And to a large extent, I've always felt that it's too much power domicile within one group, because we are heavily dependent on the institutions they control. But while I might feel a bit, I might complain about whatever actions they are taking, I think the government should understand how powerful these people are and find ways to address them quickly. We can't play what we're playing with ASU, with PENGASSAN. We don't have an economy without PENGASSAN. I would address the comrade when it comes on what my disagreements with their model, because they tend to do this almost around the same period throughout the year, but they've raised their own issues. And I believe that our ministers, especially Minister for Labour, we have too many strikes going on right now. Too many people protesting within the country. the Minister for Labour needs to be on top. Like, there's sleepless nights for you right now. And he likes the heads that wears the crown. So you are sitting in a position where you might be having to negotiate with many people at the same time, but that's your job. Ensure that we get the system running.
But you see, I wanted to just state clearly, because I have it here now, that part of their issue is that there's a private oil company which was accused of destroying PENGASSAN's structure in its workforce. And said that the management of the company sacked literally all union executive members and went ahead to lock members out for a very long time. Now, obviously, this is one of the reasons why they are going to strike. But let me take this call from Hassan and we'll continue our conversation. Hassan, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Morales.
Morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Tope, and good morning, Waiki.
Good morning.
Please, I would like to ask one pertinent question.
Yes.
Why are we so hypocritical in this country? Hypocrisy is our first name. Why? A former IG talking about this issue of attaching policemen, 50% of police, to the big men. And he was formerly IG. And when he was an IG, that was the order of the day when he was there. And now, he's now insulting our intelligence, coming to tell us a problem that he was part of. The same thing is happening with the present government. In future, from the presidency down to our governors and chairmen, they will look for a forum to talk, and we will shut them down because we knew they are part of our problems. They should rectify the problem now before it is too late for them. They should have this divide and rule among us. They should stop insulting our intelligence. We are not stupid people. Good morning.
Thank you, Hassan. Interesting.
He's not, there's no lie in what he said.
So we go back to PENGASSAN. I mean, aside from what their grievances are, you as a person, as a Nigerian citizen, this is going to affect us because now we have to go and start buying fuel.
Exactly.
We have to go and fill up our gallons. We have to go and fill up our cars.
Panic
buying. We don't know how. Panic buying is going to start.
Believe in buying fuel and keeping it in the house because fires. Because of fires. So whatever is in my car is what I will manage till I just sit down in my house, you know. But what they're complaining about from how it's the same thing that the ASU have been complaining about. That payments through this
IPPIS.
Yes. I think there must be something wrong that these bodies are complaining about it. So why don't they just sit down, round table?
But the government has said that they've saved quite a lot of billions of naira from the implementation of the IPPIS. So what they're saying is that they've been able to, because what they've seen from the reports I read from some while back is that there were ghost workers. There are people who are supposed to have gone on, they have retired, but they're still collecting salary, not even their pensions. And there are lots of ghost workers. So what IPPIS helped the government to do is save quite a lot of money. Now, ASU is insisting that IPPIS cannot work for them because they have a unique system, and they are recommending the UTAS. We don't know if PENGASSAN has a substitute for IPPIS. We don't know that yet. But they are also saying that this is also being
they gave exception to NNPC. I know that a few companies were given exceptions even on the IPPIS platform, and that's the problem. Once you have given one of the ministries, giving one body exception, other people would come up. So there can be favoritism to some departments.
Is that what they're asking for? Are they asking for exception? Is that what they're asking for?
So they have issues with it. They don't want to be on that payment platform. So if they don't want to be on the payment platform,
that's right. Let's find out why.
Why do they want to be on the payment platform? Let me take this call. What are the issues they have with it? They know the one for ASU.
Victor, are you there? Thanks for calling. Oh, we lost that call. All right. So, I mean, as I said, we're trying to get on the
yes, because it will be the best position. Because even checking online, the things I've seen that they complained about, I'm wondering, is it enough to go on strike for?
Yeah, but you see, they said that they had already. There was a time they were supposed to go on strike, and then the government said no, we'll look into it. They looked into it, and they're still. So that's why they have now said, okay.
So negotiations have gone on, but this 7-day, the ultimatum lapsed yesterday, and that's why they're insisting on it. We're going to try to see if we can get in the guests, but in the meantime, let's go back to what our last caller has said concerning the IGP. So he feels that the former IGP is paying lip service to the issue, because he was either at the helms of affairs and nothing was done at that period. But either way, should we say that people like that who have seen it, who know, shouldn't they be speaking up? Should we, when they come and speak up, do we begin to criticize them? Oh, what did you do during your own time? But shouldn't we at least embrace the suggestions from there, because they've been there, they've seen it, and they know what the root cause of the problem is?
But what Hassan is saying is, when you were there, what did you do to try and rectify the problem? Which is I totally agree with him, because when the Arase was there, what did he do? Did he shout out, "Come, this problem"? If he had shouted, we will be looking at him in a different light. This guy is a progressive.
Would we remember that?
No, but I think that the system with the military, you're not allowed to speak up against your boss. In police, although you can't speak up against your boss, most of the time they can't really do anything while they're in power there. They can only try and see how they can shift things within, but they can't. You can't have an IGP speak up and say that the president gave me orders to detail security to someone.
I'll give you an example.
Because usually it's above him.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Obasanjo was president for 8 years. People were talking about him. There was the Udi where he wiped out a whole village. Now, when Jonathan and now Buhari are in power, he takes to writing letters.
Yes,
he is the letter
I
writer.
appreciate the letters he writes.
Excuse me, these letters are... the question is, when you were there, why did you not... So that what you leave behind, when they take it over, they can't spoil it. If they spoil it, you'll be shouting, they are spoiling my work.
Maybe that's why he wanted a third term, but we didn't allow him to have a third term. Let me take this call from Mwaka. Are you there? Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Morning. Go ahead. You're live.
Okay. I want to give my own suggestion about this protester. Hello?
You're live, sir. Go ahead, please. We can hear you clearly.
Okay. If the government did not handle this one well, and they are looking for whom they will jail, another one will soon come again. Because if you have that motor, the tire get problem. Instead of you to solve them very quick, you try to postpone it. He will bring a problem where the tube will spoil, and if you not take careful, the rim will spoil. It is what is happening to Nigeria now. The government are not sincere.
Let me ask you, sir. Let me ask you this question, sir. Let me ask you this question. The Senate this morning, yesterday, said that understood what you're saying, and he said that they were going to try to ensure in the 2021 budget they include some kind of a budget to support youth employment across the country. Do you believe that, and are you encouraged by that?
I didn't hear you very well. Hello?
Yes. Okay. I said that some of our leaders in the Senate are saying that they're going to ensure that the 2021 budget includes an allocation for youth employment. They need to ensure that they're going to focus more on empowering youth, so that the protest that happened doesn't happen again. Are you encouraged by that statement? Are you convinced? Do you believe indeed that they're going to do that?
I'm fairly confused, but there's no truth for their mouth. Like myself, I was a soldier. I served for 10 years. Buhari said they should pay. Since year 2016, even to do cover is not given to anybody. They tell lie too much. Only their pocket they know.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, thank you very much. I think
you see what he's saying. You have promised him since 2015 money. He's still, how is he surviving? Tomorrow he will come out and say he's protesting. You say he shouldn't protest. He will protest now. You know, so can we take some tweets?
Yes, we have to wrap up on this.
We need to take this tweet. It's from Andrew Stratham. He says, please, can we have a special mention on this great Nigerian, Ken Saro-Wiwa, 25 years today. His father was murdered.
Yeah. Well, let me hold this. That's an important tweet. Let's go on a quick break. We'll come back and take that tweet properly. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still trying to get our guest, Comrade Lumumba Okugbawa, to join the conversation and tell us exactly why PENGASSAN is going on strike. Whilst we're waiting for that, let's continue our conversation on
we were reading a tweet that you said was important.
Yes,
so,
go ahead.
Nu Saruwiwa says, 25 years ago today, my father, Ken Saruwiwa, was murdered by Nigeria's government simply for pursuing human rights for the Ogoni people in the Niger Delta. The government still hasn't pardoned him and his 8 colleagues. They were innocent men. Pardon Ken Saruwiwa. I just thought it was important that we take that tweet.
Yes.
And then it's from Agenda. It will be better for them to choose another measure apart from strike so that masses should not suffer and federal government should do something. Let IPPIS should be across, including NNPC and the likes. Ogumola Emmanuel, corruption is systemic. There is nothing an honest policeman can do in a badly designed system. Policies can be made without having desired outcomes. Civil servants are the corruption of Nigeria because bad government cannot thrive in a transparent system.
Bilkis Mafe says, in addressing the many issues confronting Nigeria, the police needs a reform too. Their overall welfare needs to be improved, such as their trainings. There are people with families too. The uniform should stick to blue and ditch black. That's Tim Murayo.
I've been saying that since day one. Please, they should move that they are black uniform. Oh God, it's horrible.
Yes.
According to the UN, Nigeria is over 1 million short of police officers. So many graduate youths are unemployed. Why is the government unwilling to recruit enough police officers? That's why we have so much insecurity. You
see, but you can't recruit if you can't pay them. You see, the ones we have there, we're not even paying them well. So it's not about recruitment. When I hear recruitment, no. What we need to do, how much budget have we allocated for them, number one? Do we have money to ensure that they are well taken care of before we start beginning to recruit? The 400,000 that they have, 50% of them are actually well paid. Now, can we somewhat replicate what that 50%, what they are doing? So many of them obviously report to nice homes. Can you make sure that police stations are nicely done? One of them look nice and clean. They probably have multiple uniforms. Can we ensure that the ones on the street will have multiple uniforms? Can we ensure that they're well equipped for their job? So there are so many factors that we must consider because the 50% obviously are not. They feel that they're not well taken care of by the government. I think our guest is here now. Okay, we have a caller. Hello.
Wait.
Thanks for calling. Are you there?
The call has been placed on hold.
Yes, placed us on hold.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because there was a tweet that actually said we are making excuses for the police. There is no, I can't find it. I was looking for it. There is no excuse for police brutality.
We're not excusing
police brutality.
Well, okay, I've gotten to the point on this show where we've seen a lot of these people do this all the time. We say things on the show and it's then twisted. It's now becoming a normalcy. Where we say something, how is it possible for us never to excuse police brutality? It doesn't make any sense. We've been on this show for 7 years. It doesn't make any sense. What we're saying, that whether we like it or not, these police are not well equipped. Number one, if you as a person, you're working at YK as a police officer, they don't pay you hardly get paid, and if you get paid, it's not even enough for your family. Your living conditions are poor, they're deplorable. The policemen, some of the policemen we saw, were wearing slippers. They didn't have on boots. You don't have money. You can't even. Your children cannot go to proper schools. You cannot feed your family, and then that same policeman should not extort money from people like us. Sometimes they will. So we're not excusing it, we're just saying that these are the factors.
We need to deal with this.
We need to deal with it from the root cause. Yeah. If not, we're still going to we'll be creating monsters of these men. We're not in any way excusing police brutality, please.
It's not important to always put that out.
It's important that you put it out, and it's important that you see. I believe in fairness and justice.
Absolutely.
All over, from the youngest person to the oldest person. We should ensure that we are fair to all Nigerians.
Yeah, right.
You know, so if I'm going to quarrel about the doctors or the teachers who are not being paid, I will quarrel for the police too.
Yes.
And I'm not saying there's no way I can excuse police brutality.
Absolutely. Because the police who obviously is disenfranchised will now meet a young boy. He's 22 years old, carrying a laptop, doing his own work. He's minding his business. You now begin to harass him, that boy too needs to be defended. We need to. We're also speaking for him because he was his sin is that he wore dreadlocks and he sacked his jeans. That's his own sin. So this one who is already disgruntled sees that one and everything. So who caused it? It's a root cause from the government. From government, we could put it back at the dust of the government.
It's just like what happened to Tokwe yesterday. She was hungry, so she started biting everybody that came her way. Do you understand? So if I'm hungry,
perfect example.
So it's a domino effect. So we must always make way for that domino effect.
Yes, by dealing with the real issue.
And again, YK, another thing I'd like us, while we're waiting for our guests, because we're supposed to be discussing PENGASSAN right now, but unfortunately, we can't talk about PENGASSAN until we know exactly why they're going on strike. So that's why we're just going on about the issue of the police. I was going to say something, I think I lost my train of thought. But the point is that we, as Nigerians, we also must begin to understand that I lost my train of thought.
So let me bring it to the angle of people that will tweet this and people that will tweet disagreements and tweet insults and give feedbacks that can lead to aggravation. We as individuals are responsible for each other. And we must care for each other. And we must try and wear the other person's shoes. So if you're seen in any way, and that has been a bit of sore point on social media, if you're seen in any way to say police are not being taken care of, they would lash at you immediately. But in the same vein, I believe that every one of us were all Nigerians. And the policeman has children. The policeman has a wife. The policeman has family members and parents. The policeman has medical challenges like you. The policeman goes to the same hospital like me, and the nurses are frowning because they are not well paid. It pinches all of us, which is why we should direct our anger and our message to the right person, our president. And we must not be insultive about it, because sometimes when they're attacking the NSAS, a few of the arrowheads in the NSAS protest, and then they brought out some of the tweets they posted 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and those tweets were being inciting. So now when they bring this protest that they are protesting now and pull the tweets from 3 years ago that are inciting, they will say, oh, this is where you're coming from. And now reducing, watering down the seriousness of their statements. Don't insult. Deal with the issue. Don't get emotional. I know it hurts, but can we focus on the issue? Because by the time you start insulting left, right, center, the day you want to now say the facts, they'll bring out your insults and use it to attack you.
Let me take this call from Adeolu. Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please. You're live, Adeolu. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Adeolu, we can hear you on TV. Please go ahead. Listen to me, not the TV, please.
I think you are talking about the police.
Yes.
Yes, you are talking about the police.
Yes.
Good. I have my own reservation about. I have my own reservation about some policemen that have been attached to the NURTW chairman, about 6 policemen to NURTW chairman, and the citizens are suffering. They don't have access to police. It's a shame.
We can hear. Go ahead. Are you still there?
I just wanted to express that.
So yeah, so they're the elites. They're this chairman, the politicians,
chairman, the CEOs of companies, and I cannot listen. The issues in Nigeria is plenty.
Excuse me.
I was going to the farm YK, and you've always expressed concern for me. One of the a farmer in Oyo State, she was kidnapped. Her fiancé got shot.
I remember. I remember that story.
Her fiancé got shot, and this happened like 2 weeks after I just came back. I had to call my friend and tell her that I beg. I know you go to the farm every day. Can you get police escort? And she was like, no, because she would want to. All of us around her were saying she should, because her life would be threatened. She's doing her own business. The other farmer whose fiancé got murdered and she was kidnapped and they paid ransom was just doing her own business and she got kidnapped. So with the level of insecurity, those that feel that they have a bit of cash flow will feel that they should get police escort. So the issue is that, can we deal with the problems that are making them get police escorts? Why should the NUWRT chairman have escorts? Because he feels his life is not safe, because they're always shooting themselves. Why should a farmer going to the farm be having police escorts? Because if going to the farm, other people around her have gotten killed. Why should the MD of a company have police escorts? Because he's driving a big car. He might just get kidnapped. So As long as they don't deal with that, the real issue of unemployment and suffering and crime, we would keep on...
It's the unemployment. Because someone also tweeted here that, please, they say we need 1 million. Where all these unemployed youth...
Employ them.
Why don't you employ them? But Morayo said, I agree with Morayo, if you employ them, how will you pay them? When the ones that are there now, you have not finished paying them.
So I think one will start by saying, can we make it illegal for police escorts to protect any VIP? Can we have private security operatives be the ones to protect VIPs that are paid privately? So once that is legal, we know that 400,000 police officers we have are on strict duty for Nigerian citizens.
Will they carry guns? The private security, will they carry guns? Because if someone comes at you with gun and you have private security, there's nothing private security can do for you. You are gone. You and the private security, they people shoot down. I think for even having this one, just take these bullets.
Some of them already have license to carry guns in Nigeria.
They have license. I don't know. That's why I asked.
There's an estate that is on the island that they were told they were going to pay extra because they have private security that have guns, but it's legal. So if we make that, the VIP can afford to pay police, but don't pay policeman, pay a private security person.
Let's take a few more tweets because I'm told that we couldn't get the PENGASSAN comrade.
And I really want to know why they are going on strike again.
I really wanted to have him on the show today, but unfortunately we've been calling his number and it's not going through. Yes, let's take a few more tweets.
Says, I'm of the opinion that if a job isn't paying enough, you can't bear it, leave the job. The salary scale of these professions are published. Why go in and start expecting something else? Please, TMO speak. A lot of Nigerians are angry and the governments seem to be taking the masses for fools. Chigozie Malcolm says, we have enough funds to employ or take care of police officers. We just don't have the will to do it. If we curb the corrupt practices going on in our countries, we can take good care of our officers and develop this country without loans.
I just wanted to say, have you seen where police station lock gates? If police station lock gates, who am I? Police station lock gate against armed robber. You, police. I've not seen it. It's only in this country I see it too. The police stations I see in any other place I go, they are open. They don't lock their door because they are inviting you to come and kill yourself. Here, police lock gates. If it's 11, you must knock.
There are many issues.
This that we're laughing at is not. It's really not.
But
let's take a few more before we run off here.
Okay.
Let's take a few more tweets.
Okay. It doesn't seem to be loading.
I think we can wrap up on that.
I think the FG should go to the NYSC camps, recruit interested core members into the Nigerian police. That's from Suleiman Tanko. Moshiwa said.
I'd like to address something because, you see, we hear that a lot. Recruits, hire. Even the Senate was saying that we need to hire more young people. We need to create jobs, create wealth. It's beyond that. You see, because at the end of the day, you bring all these people into the workforce and you don't have the capacity. There's much more beyond just recruiting because you know how people are rushing to get into that 1,000 jobs that they think across the 754 just for 3 months. You do that and then you go back to status quo. It's beyond that. We need innovation. We need to create. We need to, it's not about just hiring and then letting them. Somebody came on our show telling us that give young people 200,000 naira. That they'll be all right. It's beyond that. And I think our leaders must be able to understand that. It's not about you just hiring young people, throwing money at them.
It's
about giving education. Leads to innovation.
I want to take this tweet so you can reply.
Yeah.
Mushiwa, you're excusing police brutality if you expect or condone the police extorting civilians because they aren't paid so well. Do you also expect the least paid worker in your office to steal from the company purse when no one is watching? But they do. You can answer that person.
I would like to wrap up and I would like to say that there was a time that, can I use this example on TV? Let me know his example. It's a company. Let me use a company. Somebody, a finance person in the company, was promoted because he was able to. Let me not use this example. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. I'll find a way to.